Hi everyone, and welcome back. If this is your first time here, then welcome to my channel. Please hit that like and subscribe button so you can watch future videos with Murders and Chill. And I am now going to be hosting what is called Forensic Science Fridays. Yeah. So again, thank you very much for sticking with me for these Murdaugh murder parts. There's the 4 parts, and this is going to be the final video. I did everything I could. Everything. So this is going to be the final video, and then we will go ahead and go to a next story because, whew, this family is exhausting and I'm ready to go ahead and do another video. Anyway, let's move on. So another little tidbit I better go ahead and mention is that next week I actually might not be able to put out a video on time. I am going to be in the hospital for a few days for a procedure. I'll be fine, no big deal, but you know, I just will not be available. Just wanted to let you know. So there's that. But for now, we are talking about Gloria Satterfield and the trial of Alec Murdaugh. So let's jump in. So days after the murder of Paul and Maggie, Alex is not looking good. Got arrested and everything. So he was like kind of trying to stage his own death. He got his cousin slash friends slash, you know, whatever to like shoot him in part of the head. So then that way it kind of looked maybe like someone was after the Murdaugh family and that Alec didn't actually kill his son and wife kind of thing, just trying to take the attention off him. But when that didn't work and, you know, people obviously were like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? This is stupid. You are doing a wrong thing. What's going on? Then he turns around and says, actually, I wanted it to be kind of a suicide attempt. Then that way Buster could go ahead and get everything. Fucking liar. This man is such a liar. I can't with him. I hate people who are liars, and I am just gonna call him out during this whole video. Lies. His friend slash cousin is also his drug dealer. Heard me right. Alec had a drug dealer because Alec had a very serious drug problem. You would think it'd be like Paul or Buster, but no, it was Alec. And it was just crazy because it was actually at one point where Paul was trying to help his dad and was trying to help him through withdrawals and getting him to stop taking drugs because he was a mess. And, you know, during this time, Paul's ex-girlfriend, Morgan, said, you know, that she could see him in withdrawals and he looked like white like a sheet and was shaking and was just trying to do everything he could. I'm like, all right, well, you know, at least you're trying, I guess, but whatever. So Paul's trying to help out his dad, which is good. However, in the year 2018, about January-ish, Gloria Satterfield, who was their housekeeper, and during her whole story, everyone just kind of labeled her the housekeeper. They didn't talk about her or what her life was like. She was a kind, nurturing, wonderful person, and she had 3 children, and she treated Paul and Buster like her own, and just she wanted to help people. And it's so sad that this happened. So getting back to the drugs, Gloria actually found some drugs that weren't supposed to be in the house under Paul's bed, just like taped under the bed. And she went to Paul to let him know that, hey, she found this, so you need to kind of keep an eye on your dad. She didn't want to go ahead and tell Maggie because, you know, maybe it would look like she's snooping and she was afraid to lose her job. So she told Paul. Mind you, want to go ahead and put a little tidbit in there to keep in your mind. Alec Murdaugh decided to put in a life insurance policy on Gloria Satterfield in January of 2018. Interesting. So then it is no surprise to me at all, or anybody, that something had to happen to her, given everything that happened. All that she knew, they had to keep her quiet. So this is what happened. A 911 call came from Paul and Maggie Murdaugh, stating that their housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield, had actually tripped over the dogs and fell backward on their stairs in the front yard, and that she hit her head violently and, was just pouring blood kind of thing. So they called 911. They were letting the lady on the phone know, like, here's what's going on kind of thing. And Maggie, you are something else. The operator's asking them questions, just like trying to kind of assess the situation and everything. Whenever an operator picks up the phone to talk to somebody, like, they know, oh, hey, send a person out. Like, that's like first thing out of the gate. It's exactly what they do. But then they ask questions, just follow-up questions, so that way they can have things documented for, the EMTs, for the doctors, for everything. They need this information. And Maggie decides to go ahead and pull a Karen on her. She was just like, why are you asking me all these questions? Just send people out, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you're fucking rude. Oh my God. Like, they didn't play the whole, like, recording on the documentary, but, like, ridiculous. She was so fucking rude. She was then taken to the hospital, and she was there for 3 days, and apparently, after 3 days, she did pass. And during this time, they did say Alec Murdaugh visited her in the hospital. Always creepy when the Murdaughs visit people in the hospital, because they're always trying to cover their tracks, figure out what's going on. And then apparently, after Gloria had passed, because she did pass after 3 days, Alec told Gloria's family that basically they should sue him in order to get life insurance money for Gloria, or for Gloria's family. That, because they don't have money coming in right now, and they need to have money going to them, especially since Gloria was with the Murdaugh family for 20 years. He was trying to look like the good guy, trying to really help and all of this stuff, and everybody believed that that's exactly what he was trying to do. Side note too, when you look up, who murdered Gloria Satterfield, they always say it's either Paul or Maggie. I 100% think that it's Maggie, because Paul thought of Gloria like a mother, because Gloria was there for Paul when his mother wasn't. There wasn't the same kind of relationship that he had with Gloria than what he had with his mother. I'm sure he loved his mom, and there was, son, mother, bond, but nothing compared to what he had with Gloria. And it's just so sad. In the documentary, his ex-girlfriend said that it ruined him. It ripped him apart. He was so sad. And, I don't think he did it. I 100% think Maggie did. Maggie wanted to help out with hiding everything as well. She was hiding things for her husband. She's terrible. I feel bad that she has passed too, but still terrible. She was taken by the coroner, and they actually didn't do an autopsy. They said that she died of natural causes. They hid that. Murdaugh. They went ahead and did that. And I didn't know if it was for an insurance thing or what it was at this point when I was watching the Netflix documentary. But we're approaching that. Oh, mama, we're approaching that. Because we're going to find more of Alec's lies. Here we go. The investigator who was looking into Stephen Smith's murder actually came across the Murdaugh caretaker. And when they were trying to find out information about Stephen Smith, they actually came across from the caretaker information about the Gloria Satterfield trip and fall. He said that he came into work at about 7:30 that morning and, was just working. And then he saw that Gloria came in at about 8:30. They wave at each other and, she goes on and then goes to the Murdaugh's home. And he's turning back, just working. And then all of a sudden, he gets a call from Maggie Murdaugh saying that there is blood everywhere and all kinds of stuff is happening. He ran up there and he was trying to get Gloria horizontal, so then that way she's not just propped up on these stairs. So he and Paul kind of pulled her horizontal. She didn't really want to be moved, but she kind of needed to. anyway, they wanted to get her horizontal for when the EMS arrived. However, Alex was caught by recording stating that he was there and was talking to Gloria, and she told him that it was a trip and fall. He stated on police recording that he was there. However, caretaker said it was just him, Paul, Maggie, and Gloria at this point. Alec was not there. Lies! Moving on. And in regards to the insurance money that Gloria's family was going to be getting, Alec, you were something else. He is just getting in trouble left and right. He got fired from his job because he was stealing money. He was laundering money. He was doing all this stuff, and everybody's just seeing his true colors, just like, oh my gosh, he possibly murdered his family. He's doing all this stuff. He is no longer a part of the wealth. He's been kicked out. Just done. He is panicking. He is just trying to do anything and everything that he can do to get money. So, what does this fucker do? He does report everything to the insurance company about Gloria. However, he recovers $4.3 million for her. He kept it and didn't tell the Satterfields that it came in. He just didn't. Just went ahead and kept it. But Satterfields found out because of all of the troubles that Alec had going on, because there was stuff in the newspaper all over it and how he got a death settlement and all this stuff, and they were pissed, well, rightfully so. He took their insurance money. They never received a cent. Nothing at all. And he fucked them over so bad. Oh my God, I felt so bad for this family. I swear to God, if I found out, ooh, so mad. He used her death in order to get money. He's fucking evil. Just flat out evil. And he got that money, I swear. How he got that money, I don't know, but it's just terrible, man. So after this, he did end up getting arrested. And he thought, oh, it's okay. You know, no one really knows too much that I've been fired. Maybe they don't know. Maybe it won't be a big deal. Whatever. I'm a Murdaugh still. And he requested bail, you know, like they had done for Paul. So then that way he wouldn't have to stay in jail. The judge denied. Good job. Good job for justice. Good job. You did the right thing. Good job, judge. We appreciate men like you. While he was at trial, they did go ahead and bring up Paul and Maggie Murdaugh's murders. And in that case, he did plead not guilty. Okay. They are just, I don't know, bringing up like videos of him and just kind of trying to get the jury used to his voice because it's going to come up later. They could keep up on it. They wanted to go ahead and have Alex's voice in the jury's mind. So then that way when they hear something later, they know who it is. They know who is talking. So now everyone who knows him, Alec, is going to be having to give their accounts of the day of Paul and Maggie Murdaugh's murder. And since Gloria had passed at about this time when the trial was taking place in about 2021, I believe, and even though Alec gave his version of events, which was on part 2 of the Murdaugh murders video. You'll have to probably go back and watch that if you don't remember what happened. But everybody else is having to give their account of what happened that day. So on part of Alec's alibi, he said that he went to his parents' house, hung out a little bit with Shelley, caretaker of his father, and he hung out there for 30, 40 minutes. 30, 40 minutes, huh? Okay. Shelley actually had to go ahead and get on the stand too, and she's like, no, that's not true. You were only there for 20 minutes. But then she included that he asked her when he was leaving that night to say if somebody ever asks or whatever, just tell them I was here for 30 or 40 minutes. And she was kind of taken aback, but she probably didn't say anything at the time because, like, I don't know. Alec is kind of a scary guy. He makes things happen, and given everything that's going on, I'd be a little scared too. But she was strong and she was brave and still went to the stand and said all of this information anyway. I approve and am so proud of this woman. Like, she's a tough broad. Gotta appreciate women who are like that. I wish I was more like that. So pretty much, Alec is still trying to be up to his ways. He's still trying to manipulate the courts and do all this stuff. Alec, you're ridiculous. Because later on, he's given his alibi. He's like, showing all of the things that he's done that day. There's even a, I guess, video of him with Paul, and he's like looking at a tree and everything, but they play that video so then that way the jury can listen to his voice. They can get to know Alex's voice, because before the trial, they had not been able to get into Paul's phone. But when they were able to, see that, they were also able to see another movie. And that movie took place that day at 8:44 p.m. And remember that I told you that Maggie and Paul had died at 9 p.m. that night? Guess who was in that movie? That would be Paul. That would be his mother. And in the background, you can hear Alec. You are a fucking liar. You went ahead and said that you were not there, that you were at your parents' house when this whole thing happened. He lied about his time frame. Why would you lie? Didn't it make you look guilty? Pretty bad. And then after this, in the courtroom, Alec just did this. Really? Did you really think you weren't going to get caught? Really? Anyway, after the jury had heard this video, what happened next was that Alec Murdaugh decided it would be a good idea to tell his lawyer that it would be a good idea for him to take the stand. You're a lawyer. You really just should have shut up. So he takes the stand, and basically the lawyer is asking him, why did you lie? And he's saying things like, well, you tell one lie and then you have to tell another one to cover up that lie, and it's a lie and a lie and a lie, and what a tangled web we weave. That was so creepy. I was just like, what? You are a psychopath. You are insane. And thank goodness, too, given all his crazy, he was disbarred, and no more lawyer for him. Good. No. After this, no way. So after the jury viewed property and got to hear everything, they were shocked about what they heard. They got to see the crime scene. They finally came up with their verdict. Their verdict was that he was guilty. And then on March 3rd, 2023, he was sentenced. Now, his sentence for Paul and Maggie's was life in prison. So, done there. I mean, obviously he got in trouble too for money laundering and, a bunch of other stuff too, but I mean, the world came for you. You didn't think it would happen, but the world came for you. And at the time too, people had also said that when the grandfather died, that everything was going to become unraveled. And that was the truth. Alec couldn't handle his shit. And he is just a terrible fucking individual. He killed people and helped others kill people. He swept everything under the rug. He just tried to do everything he could to go ahead and make it to where he could just get his way always. Fucking childish dick. He had Eddie help him with the money laundering as well. Eddie went ahead and cashed 437 checks for Alec Murdaugh. That added up to $2.4 million. This fuckhead, I swear to God. And he had a friend in prison who decided to say that he felt bad for him and that he should get an appeal. Alec went ahead and filed for an appeal, but he was rejected. And he kept filing and filing, and then he wanted to have his lawyer go ahead and have that judge tossed out so he could get another judge. And I'm like, dude, you did this awful, horrible thing. One after another. What a tangled web we weave. You weave Mallory Beach, you weave Stephen Smith, you weave Paul and Maggie Murdaugh, and then you weaved Gloria Satterfield. All of these people. You had to do with all of it, and I'm so glad you're behind bars, and honestly, quit trying to appeal. Nobody wants you out in the world. You should just stay there. You deserve to be in prison. Absolutely. Don't ever come back. The world does not want you. I hope I gave you the most up-to-date information because these cases were everywhere. I just couldn't comprehend a family that could go ahead and get away with this much bullshit. And I am honestly glad that I got to the end of this because I am exhausted. And I have watched that documentary way too many times just to go ahead and make sure I get every single morsel detail and explain it to you in the best way that I can. There's always probably some facts that I have left out, but I have sincerely tried to do the best that I can because it's too much. And I am just glad that these victims went ahead and got their justice and that the rightful person is put behind bars. They have Buster left over for the family, but I mean, you know, I guess he's, like I said, just living with his girlfriend and is saying that his father's a liar, even though he cried when, you know, Alec was guilty. Interesting. I don't know. I would think that, like, you know, if I was the son and my father was being put on trial and everything, that one, I would cry, you know, when he was guilty, like he did. But years later, I would not be saying things like, you know, he's a liar and everything. Like, I probably wouldn't comment, to be honest with you. But I don't know that I would go ahead and, like, let everybody know that you think he's a liar and everything. That's family business, okay? Like, everyone has died. Your father's in prison. If someone asks about what you think of your own father, just say no comment. Because, like, you can feel the way you feel. You don't have to express what you think that the world is going to want you to say. I mean, at the end of the day, it is your dad. He's a terrible fucking human being and just hopefully will rot in prison and try to not get out. But, Lord, whole family. I just can't understand why someone would do this. Money and power is the worst thing in the world. It makes people do the most heinous, awful crimes, and it's just heartbreaking to see that somebody would do this to another human being because of this. It's just unfair. It really is. It's unfair that these people had to go ahead and go through the things that they did because the Murdaughs get away with it. It's just so unfair. It really is. Like, why do you think that it's all right? I really hope that this is the end for the Murdaughs. Honestly, Buster, if you find a way to get back into law school and you want to go ahead and have, like, a legacy kind of like how your, you know, family had, be a better person. Don't be doing shit like this. Like, figure out a way to go ahead and be different. I don't necessarily trust you because, I don't know, I think you might have had something to do with Stephen Smith's murder. Pretty sure you did. But, I mean, honestly, if they're not going to catch you, then just try to be a better person because you're exhausting as well. Whole family's exhausting. I mean, Paul with Mallory Beach. Maggie, I 100% think did with Gloria Satterfield. Buster with Stephen Smith. And then Alec with Paul and Maggie Murdaugh. The whole family is just guilty. Whole family is guilty. Alec is the only one having to go to prison. Like I said, I don't know how Buster was able to stay out, but he was. Anyway, hope you like my braids today. Thought I'd do it a little bit fun today. Anyway, I'm very much ready for my next video. Like I said, I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to upload that video because I will be in the hospital. But the next case I am going to be talking about is the woman by the name of Lorena Bobbitt. Now, everyone has heard of. Like, I mean, I'm still going to go over her case, but she national, and her husband at the time, ex-husband now, it just, ooh, that is a wild ride there. I'm already taking notes, and that is a wild ride. But I will go ahead and get all that information to you as soon as I possibly can. And thank you very much for watching my videos. Please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, stay weird. Be safe.